Hello guys, this is Warren Collins, the Evolving Blade from Warren Collins Salons. Today we did some hair coloring here in the salon, and I have some video and some photos of that which I want to share with you. I hope you do enjoy it. What we did today is we did balayage, and the clients here, we actually, she didn't want a major change in color, she just wanted some dimensional color. So we only lifted it about 3 shades, which you'll see. It started out that we were going to do some red highlights, but actually she was afraid of that, so we went to this type of look instead, which came out very nice. I'm going to show you our technique on how we did that. We did balayage using the cellophane. I used actually Red King color on her, and we did the balayage technique, which we're going to show you in a few minutes. I'm here myself today doing this one model, and we have a lot of footage of what we did with the model, and also the way we styled her hair. Actually, I blew her hair dry after we conditioned it, blew it dry. Then I actually curled it with a very large iron and pinned it up. And that also is in the explanation when we show you the video, and you'll see all that as well. So without any hesitation, we're going to move over to our model of today. Okay? This is my model. Danielle, and this is the shot of Danielle before we did her color. You see here that I'm actually sectioning her head off. We're going to do a balayage technique on her. She doesn't want a major change, and we did balayage to give her a couple shades lighter than her natural color, and you can see what I'm doing here. I'm picking up sections and I'm painting it on in either a Y or a V, and I'm sort of just free forming it. I'm sort of like, it's a little heavier at the base area, and then it comes down a little light, and I'm sort of just brushing it down to blend, and the V or the Y would actually come together on the ends, so her ends are a little lighter, so it gives her some dimension, so it's not a solid color. And as I paint these on, as you can see, we wrap up each section with the cellophane so it doesn't get on to the next section. Now Danielle's hair actually is not a solid color to begin with. She does have some natural highlights in there, and this is just going to accent them and give it a little more dimension. We don't want it to be light, we don't want it to be blonde, we just want it a couple shades lighter than what she already has, so it looks natural. You can see here as I do this, I actually have this camera on my head, so it's a little, sometimes these photographs I get moving around, and perhaps you don't really see what I'm trying to show you, but hopefully I get back into focus. There we go. I'm just getting used to this GoPro on my head, so you have to bear with me here. Now the top of this, we didn't even do the top. We only came up so far on the sides and also in the back because we want this to be left natural. Because she does not want regrowth. She doesn't want to look striped. And this technique, she will not have either stripes or have regrowth. It'll just all come back in naturally as it grows in. There we go. I'm just wrapping that top up in the knot, leaving it there. The rest is all wrapped. We've had Y sections, we've had V sections, and I also did some straight sections. And when you're doing this, you sort of have to be sort of free form. You pick up what you want, and you put your highlight in that location, and you can do as many or as few as you like. And as I said, because of the fact that we're only lifting a couple of shades, it's not going to be real pronounced. It's going to be more of a blend of color. Now here I am. I moved over here. We're actually blow drying her hair. We processed this for about 35 minutes, And now I have washed it out, and we're going to blow dry her hair. I'm actually going to, after I blow dry this, I'm going to roll it up and actually set this in pin curls. Now I'm going to section it off and start blow drying it with a round brush, which we will show you, and then we'll work from there. I like to get some of that wetness down because it was extremely wet. We did condition her hair also after we shampooed out the color. And you can see in here already, you see those highlights, you see that dimension and color coming through, which looks real good. So I'm sure when I get it dry, it'll even look a little bit more. What I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to roll her hair up in this big rod. And then I'm going to drop it out. When I do, see, I'm still holding the curl. I'm holding the curl, but this color does look good. And I'm just rewinding that curl so it's there. It's still hot, and we're going to pin it in place. I'm going to do the same thing here. And that is, I'm not taking big, or I'm not taking small sections, because if I do, it'll be too tight and too much curl. I don't want all that curl. And what I do too is usually slide it back down a little bit after I get it wrapped, because it pulls those ends in case any of those ends are hanging out. Same thing, roll it up. I'm going to stick a pin in this to keep this here. It's still red hot. Okay. Take my next section, and I'm going to do the same thing. And as I said, I don't want it to be real curly. I want a soft curl to it, but I want something that's going to last. And this is great for people that are going out at night, people who are going to a fair. This works out real nicely because their hair will stay curly and wavy, and a style will stay in. Now years ago, we used to set hair. You younger people don't remember this, but we used to set hair. It was the same situation. We would set their hair wet, put them under the dryer to dry, and the heat of the hair would be very hot while it's drying, and then we would take them out of the dryer and make them sit for 10 minutes before we combed them out. And that was for the same situation, to get the hair to calm down and take the heat out, and the tightness of the curl will be better because of leaving it in while it cools down. I did split this up here to 3 sections because it's getting a little bit wider part of her head, and I don't want it all in one roller. Very easy to do, and it does help you if you're doing prom work or wedding events, because it's faster and you get that curl you need, and they're happy because their hair stays in. Now, if I wanted it to be a tighter curl, I would actually use a smaller rod. I'm not looking to do that. I want it to have a flow, not really a curl. On her color, I only used a 20 volume peroxide and a 6-7 in level, which brought it up nicely without actually making it too dramatic, but yet enough to make a difference. And it was on her head for approximately 35 minutes. And on the sides, I'm actually ironing it back away from her face. I don't want it to be I don't want it to just fall down. I want it to have a movement to it. And you can see this is what it will do. And then if I want to pull some of the longer hair from the back out, when I do actually comb her hair out, that's fine also, but it will have some movement, and it will also, that backward motion picks her up. So it just doesn't come down and frame her face. And we don't want a real curly look, but we want it to work for her. as far as keeping it. But, and she wants to have curl when she gets home, or some wave, I should say. I'm not being real neat with my sections or anything. I'm just picking it up as I see it and making it curl from that. As I said, I don't want fullness on top. I just want the wave on the ends. Now notice for the top, I just did those ends, the very ends, because I really don't want that to be curly. I want that to be just brushed out, smooth. The movement will all be in the back of her head, sides of her head. I'm going to flat iron her bangs a little bit. I'll use I won't actually flat iron them, I'll use the curling iron just to smooth out those ends. Okay, we are going to let this chill for a few minutes. Just take the heat down the curls. Once the heat's out, we're going to take it down, and I'll show you the look once we take it down. Okay, now we let Danielle set for a few minutes to cool, and it feels like it has cooled off. It's nowhere near as warm as what it was when we wrapped it. And we'll start checking this, take these rods out, or these clips out I should say, and see what we have. Now, just to give you an idea in this too, is that if you have problems with them, the client has problems holding the curl in her hair, sometimes the best thing to do is not brush it out, but just to comb it out with your fingers. That seems to work a little easier. And you know, as time goes on, the hair is going to come down anyhow, so if you start out with a little bit more than what you want, the end result for them is probably better because it does last a little longer. Now, as I said, I used a very big rod in this, like the curling iron. So I don't want a real curly look, but I want a polished look. And I want some wave in it, not just hanging straight. And if you notice today, the look definitely is a more wavy, curlier effect. Whether it's beach wave or waterfall curls, but it's definitely a curlier look. And all I did here was just pull out, loosened up these curls to give her more of a looser, carefree look. And see how I brought some of that hair from the back around to give her a nice volume look, but it's still off her face. It's not that it's on her face. Also, what I like to do, I like to use a little paste. In some of the areas, the fine hair, it's along the hairline, so it blends it out. Sometimes even with the bang, because it just gives it a little more texture, a little more softness to it, and also a little more polished look to it. And I like hair to look a little more natural, not like I put it in place directly. So almost even you can see my own hair is sort of like tossed around, which is the way I like it. Okay, this actually is this is a balayage technique. And I probably lifted her about 3 shades past her original color. And we did a very soft blend with the balayage, so she doesn't want anything definite. And as I said, we went ahead and set her hair. We blew it out, then curled it with an iron, pinned it up, and then brushed it out with my fingers. I did not use a brush on her hair afterward. I used a little bit of wax in the front area because I wanted it to look natural. And you can see, look at the volume in the body, and it's there's no frizz in her hair, there's nothing ragged, it just looks very naturally wavy, which is what we're showing today, and what you're seeing on the what's trending as well. I'll turn you around so you can get a good look at the back of her head also.
From what I can see, I like it.
Well, I hope you enjoyed our model today and our video of what we did with Danielle today. I thought she looked very nice, and I thought it looked very natural. And my thing is, clients can have dimensional color without having outrageous color, and also without a major color change. A lot of times clients are afraid of something, and this is a great way to get into something new by doing a slight color change. And also in this technique, it's more of a dimensional color. It's not actually a streak. So it looks real nice on them. And most people are up to something like that. And I want to thank you for watching our video. And You can reach us on my webpage at warrencollinssalons.com. Also, on my webpage, there's a button you can push that says Ask the Expert. If you have any questions on hair coloring or salon products or hair cutting, anything like that, you can press that button. You can type in your name and your email address. We only need your first name. We will be happy to answer your questions, which we do. They send us an email with what you've written, and we get back to you right away with that. Any questions at all as far as the business, we'd be happy to answer for you. The same situation there. If you haven't been to our salon yet, please go on our webpage, check us out there as well. We also have on our blog all our videos. We would like for you to subscribe to our videos on YouTube. You can subscribe to The Evolving Blade. I'm also on Facebook, and I'm also on Instagram. Instagram, it's actually The Evolving Blade, and on Facebook, it's Warren Collins Salons. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I hope to see you in the future. And please subscribe to us, and I hope to hear from you. Thank you.